10 days out and the work is already done. But this is where people screw it up. They don't trust it. They don't trust the miles that have gone in, the hydration, everything that's done to prepare one for the race day itself. And for me, I've done a number of these races. First of all, I got into the Brooklyn Half. Actually, I didn't really get into the Brooklyn Half, but I did get into the Brooklyn Half. My friend got me in, but before that, I was planning on running the virtual because I had applied to get in on my own and didn't get in. When that happened, I said, okay, well, I'll just run the virtual marathon. And I shared that with my friend, and he pulled some strings and got us in. And so we're running the Brooklyn Half in person, and I'm super excited. That actually gave me an extra week to train, which is kind of a good thing, and kind of maybe gave me a little bit more time to spin. But it's essentially I'm in, and I've planned for the race, and I've done the work, and I've done the endurance part, I've done the breathing part, the heart rate part. I've trained for this race like I've trained for no other race. Not necessarily harder, but more intentional. And that's new for me. So it's exciting. We'll see what happens. I'm not on the edge of my seat, as we say, but I'm going into this race feeling more confident than I've gone into a race before. And that's because I feel like there are levers that I can pull and things that I can do for myself that are more intentional, and they've produced consistent results during my training period, which has been about 3 months. Give or take. The last race I did was the United Half. That was about a month and a half ago. And when I came out of that race, that's when I started focusing on heart rate. Because that race, my friend, the first, I'd say 3 miles of it took the wind out of my sails. And that's why I trained differently from that point to today. The start of this race, of the Brooklyn Half, is identical to the start of the United Half. And so I plan on going into this race with a little bit more intention, a little bit slightly different plan that gives me legs at the end of the race. So that's the part that I want to talk about. When we get into the race, the bags that we've packed are the bags that we've packed. And I know that I've put together a plan that has me going into this race ready to go the long haul and to be intentional, controlled out of the gate, and have the middle stretch of the race, miles 6 through 10, 6 through 11, as intentional and having gas in the tank, so that when 10, 11, 12, 13 hit, I'm ready to go. And that's what this one's about. So with this particular type of experience, the mindset is different. The rhythm is different, the breathing, the pace, the heart rate. But the other part of it has to take place too, the physical part, the sleep, the hydration, staying steady and staying in a routine. For me, I can be spontaneous. I can be of the moment, and what this has produced for me, that not only this training program for the race, but it's produced consistency in other areas of my life too, in work, in my process of working with people, and everything else, really. I did a piece a little while ago about I love it when I get into a race because everything falls into place. It does. My life is structured. My days are more in line because the time that I have is a lot shorter to do those other things. So priorities rise to the top. That's the piece that I did, and that's what has really shown up for me. So that when I get to the race day, not only am I ready for the race, but when that gun goes off, and it's not a gun anymore, it's like a harp. And so when the harp goes off, I will know that it's not a sprint out of the gate. It's intentional. In fact, it's the opposite for me of a sprint. And so the breathing kicks in, the pace kicks in, the heart rate, observing the heart rate kicks in, and I'm ready to go. Now, all of these things said, I'm not sitting there going down my mental checklist of what's this, what's this, what's this, what's this. I trust what I've got. I trust it and I go. And that's the part of doing the training, packing the bag, and trusting what I've got. Because at the end of the day, I'm in the race, I'm gonna have to go with what I go. I just wanna make sure that when I go out of the race, out of the gate, that it's not explosive heart rate and so on. Because that'll show up later. If I go out of the race and I'm sprinting, I won't have the gas left in the tank to do what I really intend to do, not only from miles 5 through 10 or 6 through 11, but also the miles 11 through 13. And that's when I really plan on going. And that's another piece altogether, which I'll do at a different time. But for me, it's simple. Have a plan, work that plan, execute that plan, and trust that plan. And at the same time, we've got life going on. We've got family. We've got things going on with family, and good things, little stressful things, but for the most part, just life things. And now I'm really looking forward to my kids being at the race. I'm really looking forward to having that support structure, having those people cheering me on. Because that does help. That helped me so much in the United Half, was having Lily and her boyfriend and Susan, my wife, there, and being able to turn to them and just get a little bit of a boost. Now I think this is going to be it's going to require discipline on my part to, when I look over there, and I plan on going over and hugging and celebrating and doing everything. I didn't do that for the United Half, and I regretted it. I got through the race and I went, shoot, I didn't give anybody any hugs. I didn't give anybody high fives. I just really I was focused on doing a sub 2-hour half marathon. And when that happened, or didn't happen, I was like, well, shoot, I compromised all this, and I wish I had given some hugs and some high fives. So I'll be doing that on the Brooklyn. And it's a flatter course too. I expect to do better. I'm better prepared. And but anyway, back to the thing of life happening and things going on around me. That kind of factors into the structure that I was talking about just a second ago. Structure to the process, structure to running, structure to training, structure to life. And in a lot of ways, running parallels my life. It's in my life, but the other things in my life sort of parallel that process. And it's helped me. So I love running. It's been a staple of my life. It's sometimes it's an escape, sometimes it's a form of meditation for me. Sometimes it's just there, and I love it. So balancing all that, that's really the test. All this other stuff is other stuff. And it's not that, can I run the race? Yes, I can run the race. But can I run the race the way I intended it? That's the question. So, here we go. Until next time, run for your life.